there, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here, and as you probably saw in that intro, today I'm going to be talking about this CTolity AP400. It is essentially a 345 watt-hour portable power bank. It has a super small footprint, plenty of different options for plugging in stuff, and so if you're looking for something that's pretty small, is going to be able to be used portably, maybe up in your rooftop tent or in a ground tent, and isn't going to cost you a bunch of money, this thing's under 180 bucks, then this may be a good option for you to have as like an auxiliary power bank around camp. Again, I'm going to dive into all the features of this, talk about some of the cool things that make it unique, and get you all the info on it so that you can decide if this is a good power bank for your setup. So if you want to learn more about the CTolity AP400, stay tuned.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you gave to me. Loosening my grip.
All right, guys, so as I mentioned, this is the CTolity AP400. Now, I have one of their 100 amp hour LiFePO4 batteries, and I love it. It's been great with a budget price, which is really nice. And that's why I was kind of attracted to this AP400. I love having these power banks because while I have a dual battery setup, it is kind of buried in the back of my truck back there in a black box. I can't add things to it or plug things in. So right now, if I want to charge my phone, I have to open my rooftop tent because I have a splitter up there in my rooftop tent with USB-Cs in it. So then I could get up in the tent and I could plug in my phone in or charge little devices, my computer, my laptop, that kind of thing through my dual battery setup. But I don't really have anywhere else to connect to that stuff. I don't have an inverter or anything yet. I am going to be getting a camper, and I do plan to put an inverter and a power system in the back here that's more accessible. But just having this to like take and put on a table next to the fire pit is really, really nice. Or to have this just to do AC charging for light stuff, like say chainsaw batteries or your laptop or your phone, that kind of thing, is just nice to not have to worry about it. You throw it in your truck, you bring it with you, you use it when you need it, and then you take it home and you plug it back in and it's ready for the next trip. So, you know, in looking at the front here, let's just start with the basics. It does have two AC plugs. Now, it's pure sine wave power. They do say it's up to 500 watts, so you're not going to be running, you know, power tools or anything like that off of this thing. But again, this would be a perfect use case for someone that is just looking for simplicity, inexpensive, nice little power bank just to kind of take on trips with them to charge, small USB type stuff, maybe a laptop or two, that kind of thing. So you've got your AC plugs. You've got three USB-A plugs. Now, these are all quick charge 3.0. Then you've got a USB-C plug, which only does 5 watts, so that is a little bit on the lower side, but that is what the USB-C will put out. Then you've got a DC 12-volt plug-in, so like your typical sort of cigarette lighter style plug-in. Then you've got your AC input. Now, they do give you a DC plug for this and an AC plug, so you can charge this at your house, or you can plug it into your cigarette lighter on your vehicle and charge it while you're on the road. And then they've also got this DC barrel plug input down here as well. Now, as for the display, I really like the amount of information that you get here, so you can see what sections are on, right? So if I turn on the AC, it's going to show AC. It's got USB-A and USB-C showing, and then if I turn on the DC down here, then it's going to show DC cigarette lighter, and it's going to show all that stuff. The other thing that I like about this is some of these power banks are kind of tricky to use and kind of a pain, right? With this, you just hold it for a couple seconds, and you will see that it turns the things on and off. Now, when you turn it off, the screen goes off and it starts saving power on its own. If you want it back on, hold it for 2 to 3 seconds and it turns back on, shows you all of your settings up here. You can see current output being used. You can see the time to empty. Also, when you're charging it, this shows time to full. And then you can see your total percentage of the battery over here and what is on. So again, the simplicity is really nice. On top here too, you've also got wireless key charging. So you could set your phone on here and charge it that way if you prefer not to, or if you forget a cord. So if you didn't have your cord for your phone, you could do it wirelessly. Because CTolity is primarily a battery company, another nice thing is that it does have excellent BMS protection. So built into the thing, they've got a battery management system. That's kind of their specialty. So this thing's going to protect you from overcharging, over discharging, all that good stuff. And that's another thing that I like about power banks is it's just the simplicity, right? Like you just plug your stuff in. If it's going to work, it'll work. If it's too much power for the BMS, then it's going to shut it down. Another thing that CTolity does on all their batteries is a 5+ 1 year warranty. So essentially a 6-year warranty. This thing also only weighs 11 pounds. So it is super light. And I want to point out this handle is really nice. So it kind of clicks into place and then clicks back down. So a lot of these feel really cheap, but this one feels pretty premium and nice. But I mean, this thing only weighs 11 pounds, so it's really, really light. Even my kids can use this thing, move it around camp really easily. And with a total of 8 outlets, you've got a lot of flexibility. Now, another thing to mention is that this thing is just really, really quiet. So even if you're right next to it, the max volume for this thing is about 30 decibels. It does have a little fan hole built into the side there, so if it gets warm, it will, again, using the BMS, kind of cool itself off and keep itself to the right temp. But again, because of the small size, you could put this thing in a backpack, you could put it in your truck. You know, as you just saw, I keep it in the drawers of my truck, so I've always got access to it if I need it. But I have a lot of power banks that are a lot bigger, and they're just not very practical, and they weigh, you know, 30, 40 pounds, some of them, and they're just massive. So again, to have a nice little small footprint 11-pound battery makes it super usable. And the more easy it is to use something, the more likely it is that you're going to use it. All right, so let's finish talking about the CTolity AP400 with some pros and cons, because I think that might be helpful for people that are considering this as an option for them. The pros, of course, as I've mentioned a few times, lightweight, small footprint, right? So if you don't have a ton of room in your setup, if you want something that's modular that you can take in and out of your vehicle in between trips, this would be a good option. If you just are charging phones, if you're just charging iPads, if you have kids, if you're, you know, keeping small USB-based stuff charged up, this would be a good option. If you want to run heavy AC usage things like diesel heaters, probably not the best bet, or, you know, AC reliant stuff, probably not the best bet. And you also need to be aware that if you're going to charge big things like chainsaw batteries and things like that that are going to take more power, you're not going to get as much use out of this thing, and maybe you want to get something bigger. All right, guys, so as you saw, this thing is a pretty powerful little power bank, and I like the form factor of it. I like the simplicity of it. I love the cost of it, right? Anything under $200 for 345 watt hours of power is a good value for the money. I remember just even 3, 4, or 5 years ago, it was about $1 per watt hour. So if you were talking about a 300 watt hour power bank, they were about $300. So the prices have come down a lot in the last few years, and that's good for everybody. So again, if you want to check this out, there will be a link in the description down below. Definitely click on that to learn more or to pick one up for yourself. There's also a join button below this video, which is just sort of a passive way to support the channel, get you early access to the videos and some other perks. So if that sounds good, check that out. There's also links to all my social channels down below, as well as one to my website where I've got funny overlanding camping themed patches and stickers, things like don't burn your wiener and it's a hot dog, or F people, let's go overlanding. So if you're into patches, if you're into stickers, definitely check those out. There's a ton of cool ones down there and they're really cheap. If you want to be more involved with all things overlanding, there's also a link to my Patreon page, which is a ton of fun. We've got about 30 guys in there now. We have a 24/7 Discord where we chat. $5 are up in the Patreon, gets you access to the Discord chat. And then we're going on a couple trips every year, and we're also doing a Zoom call once a month. So it's just fun to hang out and meet new people and kind of build a community around all things overlanding. So check that out. And then, of course, there is a link to the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group. Now, this group is totally free to join. 30,000 plus people in it at the time I'm recording this, and it's growing every day. But unlike the other big groups, this one is full of people that want to be helpful, and we kick out the bullies, we kick out the people that are self-promoting themselves all the time. So we try and keep it pretty clean and a good experience for new folks and experienced folks that are tired of all the negativity in the other groups. So if that sounds good, definitely check that out and join the group. But again, that will do it for the CTolity AP400. I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, click that like button, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and add some hype to the video if you got value out of it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.